Good morning. So this is the second time I'm recording this video, because the first time didn't work. And it's like all last week I tried to do these videos as well. Essentially, they're going to be morning ranting videos where I'm going to roll out of bed, I'm going to turn on the webcam, I'm going to start recording, and I'm just going to talk about the gaming news, and it's only going to be about 15 minutes of ranting. Maybe I'll talk about some other things going on with College Gamer, or whatever's going on in the gaming world, or myself, or whatever's going on. Whatever's ranting, whatever's going on in this here, then I'll be talking about it. I'm not crazy, I promise. So, this is the second time I've recorded this video this morning. The first time it was perfect. It's like last week, I did it every single day last week, and it was perfect every single time. But there was always something that went wrong with it. It was either the editing program didn't like the videos I was editing, or like this morning, the audio was deleted. So here I am, once again, recording. So let's just talk about some gaming news, and I'll rehash all this. I'm Alex Tudor with College Gamer, collegegamer.net. Subscribe down below if you'd like us. But yeah, let's just get ranting, shall we? I saw this morning there was a news video, news story from IGN about a mod for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes that allows you to play in first-person mode. Now, really, pretty much, I'm not a big fan of first-person. Well, I am for some things. I don't think everything should be first-person. Now, if you listen to the College Gamer podcast, you know that Logan believes that every game should be first person if it's not, albeit if it's not Age of Empires or any other top-down strategy game. So GTA 5 is the most recent game I can remember doing this, and more games have been adding a first-person mode to make it feel more immersive. I don't feel like a game needs to be first-person to be immersive at all. And I hope Kojima doesn't add first person truly into Metal Gear Solid 5, because I think that takes away from the cinematic experience of the game. I just personally think that there are a lot of first person elements in Metal Gear Solid, like as in aiming sometimes you can do in first person, but the entire game isn't in first person. Just certain sections. And I like that. That's fine. But my example earlier was Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor felt immersive only because of the gameplay elements. The Nemesis system was very immersive because the enemies remembered who you as a player were. They remembered what you did to them, like if you burned them or something. That was immersive in itself, and it didn't need to be first person. There are a lot of first-person games that I feel aren't immersive, or I feel like could have been more immersive had they been third-person or otherwise. I mean, you don't see... I mean, I don't know if Mario would ever be considered immersive, but I mean, you don't see a first-person Mario game yet. I hope that's not a thing that happens. I mean... You don't need first person in everything. First person shooters are fine. They're okay. But then you reach a point where if everything's first person, think about if Last of Us was first person. I don't think we would have had the same experience. It wouldn't have been the same game. I don't think it would have been as good. I think cinematic games need to be, depending on what the subject is, they don't all need to be first person. That's just the truth of the matter. The second news story I saw this morning was from Kotaku and Polygon. They both reported that they both relayed the information from the Japanese gaming website and news and magazine Famitsu that Pokemon was not the best-selling game in Japan in 2014, which is a huge surprise because Pokemon is a huge staple in Japan. They have dedicated buses there. They have stores dedicated to Pokemon there. They have everything there. So, I mean, it's kind of just like, how can that not sell every single year if the culture there is so dedicated to Pokemon? Not only Pokemon, they have, there's a ton of other things, but still, Pokemon is a huge thing there. It was Yokai Watch, which I believe that's what it was called. I think it's Yokai Watch. Which also had 2 entries. Yeah, Yokai Watch, which is it's very similar to Pokemon, where essentially a player has the monsters that they use to battle demons. I don't know if there's like a catching element there, if you catch the demons and you can use them as new monsters, or you catch new monsters to help fight stronger demons, but that sounds a lot like Pokemon. It's just a fresh take on it, which I said earlier. Now, there's a lot of... If you listen to the College Gamer podcast, every Thursday on collegegamer.net, go check it out. If you listen to the College Gamer podcast, you hear me and Will discuss the popularity of Pokemon quite often. I'm in the belief that the remakes after Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire aren't as popular. And I think the popularity for the remakes, if they remake Diamond and Pearl, I don't think they'll be as popular. And I think they had the remakes for Ruby and Sapphire only because people wanted them there. It's a problem with all remakes. It's like, for the people who didn't play them before, you can play them again now. Sure, they added a lot of new features. That's fine. But they didn't really make it a new game. They just added a fresh coat of paint on it, which is fine. I mean, it's going to be good for the fans. People who are fans of Ruby and Sapphire will play those games, and that's fine. I'm guilty of playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I still prefer Gold and Silver over those games, I believe. But they look good, and they're fine. They're fan service. But remakes are a problem because not every game needs to be remade. Not every Pokemon game needs to be remade. They can release a new game every single year. They can release... I don't understand. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire makes sense to release. Those were popular enough to warrant re-releases or remakes. Diamond and Pearl, I'm still in the belief that it wasn't as popular, and that's where the popularity started to decline with Pokemon. I believe it started to decline with Pokemon around Diamond and Pearl, and then Black and White, it got lower and lower and lower, and then X and Y came out and totally took the gaming industry by storm. It totally revitalized the everything from the new game engine, 3D models. It's what everybody wanted out of a Pokemon game, and they finally delivered. They had a lot of old fan service to bring the old fans back in, with you'll be able to choose between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, all in the very start of the game. That brought a lot of people in. Problem is, if they keep remaking these games, Diamond and Pearl, people aren't going to buy those. I mean, that's just the way it is. People don't have that connection. Some people had a connection with Ruby and Sapphire, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people out there, I don't know, when you go ask people what their favorite Pokemon game is, it's either Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and sometimes Ruby and Sapphire, and then X and Y. But maybe sometime you'll hear a Black 2, White 2, whatever in there, but you'll never hear Diamond and Pearl. Like, I mean, I felt like that was the weakest one out of all of them. And if they remake those, and that's the next in line. If they're going to be remade, those are the next in line. But I think they just need to make a solid new entry in every Pokemon. They don't need to add new Pokemon. They don't need to do anything like that. Just expand. Or, I don't think we'll see the revitalization that we did with X and Y. I don't think we'll see those huge surge in sales numbers for a new Pokemon game, because even Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire aren't selling as well as X and Y. X and Y sold 12 million units in its first 6 months. That's huge. X and Y have only sold like 6 million, I think. 3 million each. Or not X and Y, sorry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire have only sold 3 million each, I believe. And, I mean, that's in the US. And that's not big. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. And now in Japan, the remakes are being, they were outsold by a new franchise that's taking Japan by storm. That hasn't even come out to the U.S. yet. They're gonna have to do something, and I think it's gonna be a Wii U game. Maybe a remake of Red and Blue for the Wii U. I'd play it. But yeah, that's my morning Pokemon rant, I guess. It's gonna be other news. I'm gonna be talking about all kinds of things. Really, I'm just kind of playing, I'm playing a lot of Vita. I'm playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 on PS3. PS4 isn't getting much love. I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Little Big Planet 3, a little bit of that. I gotta get a better internet connection. I gotta do something, because I want to play some online Little Big Planet 3 with my friends, and I just can't. And it sucks. So, there's that. I'm playing the Sly Collection on Vita. Then I'm going to be working my way into Final Fantasy X. We'll see how that goes. But besides that, yeah, if the quality of this video isn't very good, we're working out the kinks. I may get a better webcam. We'll try to work it out. Hopefully this looks good enough for a little while until I get a better solution for a better quality video. Maybe better lights. I think it's just the webcam. But I'm going to look into a new webcam. Or just a new camera. Maybe I'll just do that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. If you like this video, that's all I'm going to talk about this morning. This is going to be a very unprofessional video. Believe me. There's going to be very little editing. I might just do... This may become a standalone podcast. I doubt it. It's probably just going to be a morning 15-minute rant video on the College Gamer YouTube channel. And if you guys liked it, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe, please. It'd be a huge, immense help to me, and I would really appreciate it. But if you don't want to subscribe, then don't subscribe. So whatever, man. Also, comment down below. I'm also thinking about getting into Smite. Let me know what you all think of Smite. So comment that down below. Let me know what I should look for in Smite, what I shouldn't. I watched some live stream this past weekend, and it looked very cool. But just, give me some hints on Smite. So comment that down below. Subscribe. Yeah, go to collegegamer.net. Check us out. Listen to the College Gamer podcast every Thursday. And then go check us out on Facebook at collegegamer94 and Twitter, collegegamer94. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning.